And when the lights go out, we will be underway for 50 laps of the Jeddah circuit, which is now. Away we go. Maggio gets a good start and he will cover off the rest of the field into turn 1. Side by side for second are Williams and Fletcher. And it looks as if at least the top 10 have all got through the first couple of corners cleanly. This is Istvan Xengel coming through to turn 4. There's a big curb on the outside. But he's not going to hit the curb. He's going to smash into the barriers back first and lose that wheel. Loic Mounier is up into 3rd position, side by side with Fletcher. And Sergio Fletcher has to settle for 4th position as it stands.
Now we see Moritz Kropp. He fancies a go at Fletcher. Fletcher is just being picked off down the straight. I wonder how much downforce is on that valet round the outside. Goes the Fraser Tartan. Is there enough room for Moritz? Oh, slides. There's a little bit of wheel contact between the both of them, but Kropp just about squeezes his way through and more quickly than anticipated. And Yartan has got a brilliant chance with the DRS. I don't think Fletcher is going to be able to defend this one. Up the inside goes the THR into the top 5.
And this is Stein Handgraf, so did anything happen to Stein?
That's Milner.
Goes into the corner. Contact with Winnick. And he spins around, and that is what happened. And Yartayan might now have a look at him. Here he goes. Yartayan side by side with Loic Mounier for 3rd position. He's got to get it hooked up so as not to go into the back of Matthew Williams ahead of him. He goes around the outside of Mounier through turn 2. A really good move there for Yartayan. I think they're going to go side by side down the straight. Someone came into the pits. Was that Kropp? Kropp pitting. Tom Stevens is well and truly involved in this lead battle now. That's the great thing about having such a long DRS train. He's side by side. But also look at Yartayan going to the lead. Alessandro Maggio is into the pits. Yartayan leads the race now, having passed Matthew Williams on the straight. So Maciej Winnick is racing with...
That's Maggio.
With Maggio having just... Maggio's just made his pit stop. Now Maggio is very eager to get past him. And into the wall goes Winnick. Now here's Sven Schubert. Has anything happened to the FTR driver? He gets on the curb and smashes into the barrier. And that will be the end of the day for Sven as well. A big shame. And over to the left-hand side goes Tyan. Is he pitting? He is. So Tyan comes into the pits. It looks like we were very wrong with that one-stop strategy that I predicted. And into the pits as well. Behind him comes Loic Mounier. Well, Moritz Kropp potentially has the net lead of the race, having pitted very, very early. The only difference, of course, is that by pitting early, he may well have older tyres. And Mounier's come out in a lot of traffic here.
And there he goes as Fournier now is lining up Jukka-Pekka Lalu. As you can see, Loic Mounier in the wheel tracks of the pair of them.
Adonis Engineering a 3rd in the team's championship.
Tyan making a move.
By Spark and Road to Formula. And here is Yartayan up the inside of Shimon Frelick. And he goes back into the top 3 now. Maggio takes the lead. Maggio has just taken the lead of the race, with Maggio getting the wing open and slipstreaming his way right back through on Moritz Kropp. He goes back to the lead. And Zolt Schukes, I think, has had a spin. We're going to see a replay. He goes off the curb. He twitches. He hits the wall. And then he spins the car. And he's flipped it. My goodness. We didn't see what happened to Moritz, but he lost a lot of time on that last lap. And now Stevens is side by side with Matthew Williams. He goes through into 5th position down towards turn 1. They're so close now. What can Yartayan do? What can Moritz Kropp do? Tyan to the inside, Kropp to the outside. And Yartayan does go through into 2nd position. So he's holding back, and he'll get it now, I think. He'll get it now. He'll get the DRS open as they go across the line, and they will be side by side for the lead of the race. Tyan will have the overspeed, and he goes through into the lead. And in the background, Tom Stevens goes through into 3rd position, passing Moritz Kropp.
He needs to sort of extend this so he can put the mediums on. Round goes Kropp!
Kropp goes off the road. He hits the barriers.
Let's ride on board then as he goes through. All seems okay so far, and then just over the curb, there's that instability. He gets on the throttle and quite heavily into the wall as well. That was what happened to Pascal Bolenz. Exactly the same fate as poor Sven Schubert, wasn't it?
And Stevens goes through to 2nd. It is a THR 1-2 as we talk. Here comes Mark Schluter going to the outside of Tomasz Vok. And this is the final corner, so he'll have a bad run down the straight. This could be a chance for David Feidok mainly, but Schluter gathers it up with the slipstream, goes to the outside of Wok, and he'll try again now, down towards turn 1, and he does go through. Wok takes a look, tries to come back at him.
You see Williams now picks off Maggio.
And gone through into 9th position, and into the pits comes Shimon Frelick.
Frelick is going to breeze by with the DRS then. And where are these two going to come out relative to Maggio? This is crucial.
And look at Fletcher, they're side by side. Frelick going around Jan Grankvist, the championship leader. And into the pits comes Jarl Tyen from second position, so or from the lead he was. So the first of our THRs to make that second pit stop. So Pansar leads, but where are Stevens and Williams? And side by side go Fournier with Shimon Frelick there. Fournier getting through up into turn 1, and that is for position. And there is Tom Stevens, and he is behind Jarl Tyen.
So they've done about 17, 18 laps or so far. Can they keep doing that? As Tyen now is going to go up the inside of Alex Laho. Will Laho defend this one? Yes, he does. And that's potentially going to back Tyen into Tom Stevens if he's not careful, but he gets a better traction on exit and now splits the pair of them up the inside he goes.
Which of the drivers up in front are actually due a pit stop and which are trying to stay out till the end? Tom Stevens around the outside. That'll turn into the inside now on Alex Laho, and he does go through an important decisive maneuver there.
Williams and Maggio that are going to truly chew their way through these guys as well. Yet Laho's had enough, and through finally goes Tyen round the outside using the DRS on Carlos Martin.
He's already got back past Fisher on pit exit, and look at Carlos Martin under pressure from Tom Stevens here. Stevens up the inside, goes through into that fast left-hander.
As we see Matthew Williams slotting himself up the inside there.
Indeed, Matthew Williams does have a good chance now, and he goes side by side with Tom Stevens, and around the outside, a really good move. He nearly overshoots the corner, but that'll get him the inside, and Stevens drives right back around the outside of Matthew. This is great stuff there. Tom Stevens has the inside now. Matthew will have the curb. And they're still side by side in a section of the track you really should not be neck and neck through. DRS wide open, and Jarl Tyen for the third time today will take the lead of the Grand Prix with 9 laps remaining. And I think that this should be pretty straightforward from here. Matthew Williams charging, and once again goes side by side with Tom Stevens, once again has the inside line for turn 2, and once again is fended off by the charging THR driver. Here we go, Stevens slipstreaming his way past Pansar, and once again THRs are first and second in the race with 8 laps to go. Side by side in the background, this is Fournier and Schluter and Martin, and they're all in a chain. And up the inside goes Fournier, and he pushes Mark Schluter wide.
It was worth keeping Pansar out, but the gamble, it's not quite worked out now. As look up the inside, Fletcher bangs wheels with Mark Schluter there, and Schluter very much getting forced out. Moynier takes advantage. He's going to try and make a double move here with the DRS wide open.
Now here is Robin Pansar making way for Williams. You can't help but think that one of the reasons Adonis elected to keep Pansar out there was to hold up the THR drivers and allow Williams to get a little bit closer to the penalty.
Through.
And Maggio is 4th. You're absolutely right. Maggio is back through into 4th position now. Martin might be out of the race because there's another yellow flag. Something is going terribly wrong now with Carlos Martin, who does DNF. What a shame. He goes down the inside, and is that a complete brake failure? He just did not make it into turn 1. And it was nothing to do. It was nothing to do with the Valley Esports car he was racing with. Yeah, you see the brake, like the brake pressure is definitely being registered. And yet something has gone drastically wrong to put Carlos Martin out of the race. So Vok here is fighting with
Moritz Kropp.
He's slipstreaming him into turn 1. He dives, and makes contact with David Fidok, who spins around. Fidok resumes. Tomasz Vok resumes.
It's and already
then as he gets going, so Tomasz Vok retiring as a result of the collision. So
round the outside from Laho.
Wow.
Sorry, Caitlin, but he gets past Jan Grankvist. So Laho, who switched to the soft tires a couple of laps ago, is now duking it out with the Super Venturas there. Grankvist was trying to defend Lalu. He's going to continue to try and do so, diving really late into the first corner. Laho goes wide, and I think Grankvist suckered him into that one as Laho just avoids contact as he has to cut the chicane there.
Now look at Loic Mounier as he challenges Jeffrey Fournier with the slipstream and the DRS, and potentially some push to pass if he's kept any.
Big crash, and that's Grankvist out! He's done exactly what Moritz Kropp did, and this time he's lost the rear wing.
Here we go into the chicane. Goes through the left, gets on the curb. Whoa, and round the car goes. He just bottomed out and smacked the barriers, and his heart would have sunk, Ed. What a fantastic day for THR. Only 6th in the team's championship after the first couple of rounds, but they have been exemplary. They have played the game perfectly, and Yartayan from 6th on the grid has won in Saudi Arabia. And there's the order. Tyan wins from Stevens, Williams, Maggio, Ansar, Mounier, Fournier, Fletcher and Schluter. I'm actually going to say Schluter is my driver of the day there, because Edge have been having such a tough season so far. Schluter was on the verge of giving up, but yet again didn't, and that's their best result of the season so far. Simon Frelick, P10, didn't give up despite that spin we saw a couple of laps ago. Alex Laho, P11, then Jakob Ekalali, P12, Dylan Fisher, 13th, Moritz Kropp, P14, Stein Handgraf, P15.